Oh, there we go. Okay, guys, so again, hold on, let me alert the Discord that I'm live. Yo, yo, can you guys hear me? So again, guys, the daily gap is my draw here. Right, I think we're coming down to test this daily fair value gap. There really wasn't an entry anywhere. Oh, that's ES, sorry. There was an entry here. I don't think there was an SMT with ES, but let me see. So this didn't close below, this did. So this is technically your entry here. For this short, stop would be a close back above, and then your target is obviously going to be that daily gap, which we still haven't hit it, but we probably will at some point very soon. Was there an SMT with ES? No. Oh, well, yeah, actually there was. This is an SMT right here. See that? And again, the objective is that daily fair value gap. So that's where we're headed, in my view. I think it's extremely likely. Let me let the Discord know that I'm live 1 second. We're also in the macro time. The hourly candle has not closed yet. But I think, again, guys, this looks like it's going to be the draw here. And it's that daily fair value gap. Maybe they do a little bit of manipulation before they take it out, but I think that that's the draw, ultimately. So maybe we get a retracement down into like this fair value gap or this one. Then we get a short, but again, I think this is still the draw here. I could label this to you if you guys want. Let me bring it all the way back here. And I'll label it as a, what? Bring it forward. So I'll label, okay, here it is labeled, and we're going to label it daily low. This is the draw here. Daily FVG high. So that is where I believe the market is going. Again, there could be some manipulation. They could bring us up first. We do have not really a 15 or a 5. We have a 5-minute fair value gap here that we could come back and retest first. It's possible for sure, but oops. We'll see what happens here. Morning, K. Morning, K. So again, guys, I think the draw is this daily fair value gap. I have it labeled here, but this low is the draw in my opinion. So we'll see if we get something A+ to get there. There was a really nice setup here in the morning after an SMT. We also swept the daily yesterday. So there's actually some, this is a pretty nice entry probably up here. But yeah, I think the daily draw is definitely down. And it will probably end up going lower into this fair value gap. I mean, there is a volume imbalance here. Maybe we go higher first. We do have equal highs above, but I'm expecting a retracement into this daily fair value gap first, and then maybe a bullish setup. I don't know. We'll see. But trying to see if there's any 30-second setups or anything of that nature. There is a pretty interesting looking 15-second setup right here on NQ. But again, I think the draw is this. So but does everyone see that SMT that we had earlier today? ES made a higher high, NQ made a lower high, inverse fair value gap, right there's the entry, stop loss is a close back above, and that's the draw. I really should deliver here. If it starts retracing back up towards this high, then we'll probably end up delivering higher first and then getting a setup later. But we'll see. Oh, I forgot to turn on the lights. There we go. I'm good, Kay. Good job on that trade earlier. Just what you showed me on the Discord, I noticed that there was a fair value gap in gray. What did you take, the 831 or something? I'm not sure what you took, Kay, but from the Discord, I noticed there was a gray fair value gap that you labeled, and you entered like right here on a retracement after one closed above it, but there was a bullish one that you didn't wait to close below. But by the time it did, the entry was kind of late. So I get it if you had a conviction on the trade and there was maybe an SMT or maybe a major time frame liquidity sweep. I don't know if you were using FX replay or if that was Top Step or what, but looked pretty decent apart from there was a fair value gap that I thought you missed, but okay, so we really should deliver here. I want to see clean delivery. Don't want to see it stall. So, okay, you're done for the day, right? Because you took that trade and that's it. Okay, so the fact that this is coming up now here, I mean, if we end up sweeping this high, we'll probably go and fill this 5 minute gap and then go lower later. Okay, yeah, as long as you respect the risk, okay, and you know that if we close back above that 1 minute fair value gap, then that you close the position, then for sure. If it was looking good, I think it looked really good too. If there was a major sweep and an SMT, I probably would have front run that too. Smaller size, but I probably would have done it as well. So, unfortunately, I missed this, guys, but it is what it is. I still think this is coming. If you guys want to, like, scalp this with small size, I don't think that's a bad idea, but totally up to you. Let's see if ES has swept its daily low, though. No, it has not. So neither of them have rebalanced the daily yet. But again, I think that's the draw. It's really stalling, though. It should just go. Yeah, that's good, Kay. I'm really proud of you. I'm glad that you recognized when the price action looked really good. Also, guys, it's the FEG fair value gaps and inverses are important, obviously, and those are the number one part of the model. But when you learn to recognize how PA behaves and when we're likely to get at least a retracement, you can understand where internal highs and lows are. Then you can sometimes front run trades. Obviously, you're gonna sometimes lose those, but it still will a lot of the times it will work if you understand how price action behaves. Okay, so there's a big sweep there. I want to see the low get tapped here right now. Don't want to see the stall here. So let's see if it holds. Again, I don't want to see this wick. I want to see it go all the way down to the daily FEG. Come on. Deliver it. It's going to deliver it. I want to see it deliver now. There is a tiny volume imbalance here that we could trade back into, but I'd prefer for it to just go. Okay, so forming a potential 1 minute order block here. We need to see it close below the order block. Okay, so that's promising. But I want to see a full delivery here. Okay, doesn't look like it's going to close below, but we'll see. Come on, market, just do it. Let's go. Deliver. Okay, beautiful. Just go. Come on. Uh-oh. Don't wick like that. Wow. It's really making it stall, huh? Crazy. Okay, nice wick. It's got to deliver here. Come on. Oh my goodness. Come on, deliver. It missed it by a tick, which sucks, but... So if we end up getting a retracement maybe into this 5-minute gap, and we get an A plus short or this tiny little 5-minute right here, then we can look for another setup. But this was the setup of the day for sure. SMT, 1-minute IFVG, high time frame liquidity target that I wanted yesterday, guys. I told you guys yesterday I wanted the rebalance of that daily gap. I was looking for a setup here, but unfortunately we had other plans. We hit the daily high, and now we're looking for that retracement. So now that this is happening on the 1 minute, I think that they're going to try and come up and sweep this high possibly, and then we get the setup later. But ultimately, guys, this low is what I'm looking for, and it comes from that London low that formed right here, which also formed that daily fair value gaps high right here. So I'm looking for a rebalance. Excuse me. So it looks like it's just going to come here, but we'll see. Do you remember? Okay, watch this candle. Looks like this is probably going to be what delivers us, but no one knows for sure. And if this doesn't deliver here, that's going to be very ridiculous. All right, there it is. Beautiful. So I did scalp that on eval, guys, I'm not going to lie. But that was it. Okay, so I'm probably not going to be taking any setups on a funded account today. Again, it's a no news Wednesday. If you guys look in the Discord economic calendar, today is the 26th. There was core durable goods at 8:30, but that's no setup, and there's nothing else. There's just FOMC members speaking, so I probably won't take anything else, realistically. But that was a pretty big trade. Again, it was a scalp and only on eval, so. Wow, Tesla's down 4%. But yeah, that was amazing. So I guess what we can do now is tape read and see what happens within this daily fair value gap. But I really don't think that there's anything else worth considering here. I mean, this was the trade of the day. This is what I wanted yesterday, and we got it. I wonder if Robert's here. Glock's out for real. Are you here? Let's take a look at the rest of the market quick. UNH 1%, Palantir AMD down 2%, Nvidia down 4%. Look at this, guys. So if you guys don't believe that inverse fair value gaps and fair value gaps work on every single market, look what happened with Tesla, guys. We have this beautiful 4-hour tiny little fair value gap here that a lot of people don't pay attention to. We rebalance it perfectly, and now we're rejecting. This is how the price, how the market moves. Look at the entire market. GME at 14%. So if you guys didn't know, GME is apparently buying like $5 billion worth of Bitcoin for their own little reserve. I think that is why GME is up. Tesla down, of course. HIMS is down 4%. Enphase is down. Boeing is down. How is Boeing performing now? 182. I told you guys, when the daily fair value gap inversed right here, this was a long setup, stop to break even at this high, and you can see here that we're going, and we're probably going to sweep all this buy side too on Boeing. We're heading to 195 as well, so that's going to be dope. The rest of our position on Boeing is printing, and I'm going to be taking profits at 214 and 196 for my final levels. In fact, I'm actually going to set an alert for these. Okay, perfect. All right, and then where is the next potential target for this? Well, I mean, the mean threshold of this daily gap is probably likely, which is right here at 2315. But what could easily happen here, guys, is we get an actual long setup from somewhere within this daily, and objectively the target will be this green line, which is the equal highs. They're perfect equal highs on NQ. But again, the real setup that I was looking for today happened right here. So do you guys really realize how I look at the high time frames? And again, I wanted this yesterday, but it didn't happen. But it happened the next day. So you look for a high time frame bias, and then your objective is, I label it, and then boom, I look for an A+ setup. And this was the setup. SMT IFEG. So, and just because like you missed the trade, yes, the RR is worse, obviously, but it doesn't mean you can't enter with smaller size if you really, really trust your model and you, I guess you respect your risk. But again, I mean, I didn't enter this on a funded or a cash, but for an eval account that you want to pass with a very high probability target, I mean, what's 40, 50 bucks that you can risk to potentially have a funded account that can make you thousands of dollars in the future, right? But again, you have to have market experience, and you have to have a very high probability, high time frame draw for you to just randomly, not randomly, for you just to enter lower than where you should. Excuse me. I just said excuse me before I sneezed. All right, 1 second. Okay. Wow, I love having high time frame draws. It's the best. Okay, so the mean threshold of that fair value gap is here at 2135. Gives us about 111 points. Already the move from the high that formed this morning, that was a 200 point move. That's crazy. It's so nice to be in sync with the markets. Okay, I'm just looking at some other stuff here. Oh my God, this looks beautiful. Okay. So we did just hit, or we came very close to um, a quarterly low or a quarterly level. We missed it by a tick here. So we could have a small retracement here before going lower, but I still think this is destined to go lower. Rebalancing at least the mean threshold, and then maybe this daily volume imbalance that you guys see here. I'm going to label it in blue because gray is my color for a standard fair value gap. But yeah, I think that this is destined to go much lower here. Again, because we're next to a quarterly level, it's possible that we can go higher first and then retrace, but I still think this is going to be the high time frame draw is lower here. And again, what is that blue box? It is a volume imbalance on the daily, and this is the mean threshold of this whole fair value gap. But I mean, again, we could still be bullish here, and we can sweep these equal highs. But I think first rebalancing these levels will be ideal. We do have perfect equal lows down here that we still have not swept, which I think we will eventually still. Before we get our major move to the upside, you can see that there's a perfect equal low right here, and then a perfect equal low right here. So I think that those are going to be a draw for the future. And then hopefully we get a long, like a higher time frame long model back to all-time highs from there. Possibly, but we'll see. Morning, Charlie. So I was just telling them, Charlie, that the daily low that I was targeting yesterday for my short ended up playing out today. So we took a scalp down to this daily fair value gap high / low London low, which came from right here. And that is pretty much it for the day. I'm done. I'm not going to be taking anything else. I will try and call something if I see it, but the high probability move, in my opinion, has already been made. If we end up inversing this 5-minute fair value gap to the upside, then I think that there is a good long setup to target this internal high and then maybe rebalance this little 5-minute fair value gap. So it would look like this as a long position to target this high. But apart from that, thank you, sir. Does anybody here trade Forex at all? I'm not talking about I mean, you could be day trading Forex, but I don't recommend it. But like high time frame swing trading, different Forex pairs, depending on, you know, seasonality and cycles and stuff. The reason I don't like day trading Forex is because the spreads are really, really bad. And so you can end up getting stopped out on a position when you don't want to be. It's not ideal. Do you remember all the times I turned to do 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 do. So if this 5-minute inverses, guys, you can try along. Again, I'm done, but I think if this inverses to the upside, we're going to this high at minimum, and then probably these three. The reason I want these three is because it is an internal high. I think it would be ideal for them to stop out shorts before going lower if they're going to deliver it lower today. You could technically enter on this 2-minute if you wanted to, but your stop to break even would have to be, well, it didn't even close above. Never mind. But yeah, if this 3-minute and this 5-minute close above, I think that's fine to try. Okay. So we're gonna wait patiently here. We've got another. This is about to close. Oh, Robert! I just saw Robert's Discord post. What did he say? Yeah, I'm on my mom's YouTube. What a G. Okay, Robert, I hear you, brother. Yeah, so again, guys, sometimes my draw is correct, but I'm just a day late, and it is what it is, right? I took a failed setup yesterday, and today I got all that money back plus some. Only on eval, obviously, because it's not a news day, but nonetheless, it's still a step away from a funded account, so. Okay, so rejecting from that 5-minute gap so far. If this fails, then we're obviously going to go lower. I still think the draw is lower today, but a lot of the times, again, this is a lesson for you guys. If you are short on the day, okay, be very aware of where internal highs rest. So for example, this high right here and this high right here. There is a lot of LRLR here and this high right here. Realistically, what they're probably going to do here is bring the market up at minimum to this high. And the reason being is because they want to try and stop out at least 1 or 2 shorts. Right? I think they'll probably end up bringing it up to this high. But you have to realize, guys, that the market makers, the algorithm, whatever you want to call it, they don't just want price to deliver super cleanly, because then everybody who's taking a trade is going to win. And they need liquidity. They need people to lose money. So I think this high is going to come now, this high, and probably this high. If you're in on the 3-minute, there's no entry yet. 2-minute, technically there is an entry here, but you have to be aware that we could easily reject from this too. So I still think this is going to go up from here. This candle is probably going to deliver us up here, but nonetheless, not the best trade in my opinion. We've got 3 minutes until this 5-minute close, so let's see if we end up getting it. Two minutes left. So the 3 minute still is not closed above. The 2 minute has not closed above yet either. So maybe we gotta pull back here and then set up later. But again, until this 5 minute closes above, guys, there's no real reason to take this. Whoa. Can you guys hear the lo-fi beats? Again, I can't put it on, unfortunately I keep getting copyrighted if I do it on the actual software itself. By the way, if anyone knows of a website with good copyright-free music, let me know. Like good, like, not like lyrical music, but like beats. Okay, so no close above on the 5. So if we just end up rejecting here and we close below this low, we're going lower for sure. But my thinking is that this high is coming next, and then maybe we get a sweep later on in the day. But only way that I'd ever enter this, which I'm not, guys, because I already had a very successful trade today. But this 5-minute IFEG would be it. No close above on the 2, no close above on the 3. The 3-minute closes at 39. This looks like it's just going to drive up here. So we just filled this little tiny 1-minute volume imbalance, just a heads up. You can see how we're rejecting literally perfectly from it. Doesn't mean it's going to fail, but I'm just noting that look how perfectly that respected that. One tick, drew outside the lines by a tick on that volume imbalance. Yeah, definitely a bearish day, and I wouldn't be surprised if we end up rejecting from this 5-minute. Again, I'm going to be super cautious here. I'm not taking it, personally, maybe on a paper account if you guys want, just so we can have it visually on the screen, but I mean, this was the trade today, guys. This was the trade. This woman IFEG plus SMT. Like, there's no denying it. This was the entry right here. You could have literally moved your stop, well, no, you couldn't have moved your stop to break even, but you could have moved it like just above or like back above this high and targeted the daily lows. Even if you entered here, guys, and your stop loss was above this high like mine was, I didn't enter right here, I entered down here. But the RR for this trade was incredible. But yeah, if today is a bearish day, then, I mean, at minimum, I think they'll come up and stop out people that have shorted above this high. So 5-minute closes in 2 minutes. But again, my thinking is that they're going to come up and at least stop people out above this high. So I think there's going to be a manipulation leg, and maybe they come up to the body of this candle. One of these two I think is coming though. 3-minute has not closed above, nor has the 5 yet. Did this just form equal highs here? Let me check. No, did not, but... Literally all you have to wait for here, guys, is a 5-minute close above. And if you want to be more risky, you can take the 3 if it closes above, but we'll see what happens. I think this is going to drive us above the volume imbalance on the 1. So there is an order block here that's right now is holding, but I wouldn't be surprised to see us maybe touch the body of this candle before going up. But again, objectively, if we are bearish today, this should just drive higher here to stop out traders who are long from these 2 points. So I really don't want to see it go much lower than this. It can paint outside the line slightly, but again, I think this high is coming. Okay, so there's a slight tap of the body of this candle. I want to see that push us higher, ideally. Okay, so that's not good. And again, the 5-minute did reject there, so it is what it is. But no reason to enter a trade. Oh. Do 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 do. So there's a bunch of like, there's a decent amount of bullish 1-minute gaps here. I still want to see this trade back up to this high, but how they get there, I don't know. We'll see. But if we truly are bearish, guys, I mean, we did reject from this 1-minute volume imbalance, but we really should go higher than that. Is everybody done for today? Has that everybody did everyone finish when they took this low here on the daily? I hope you guys are done from that point on. What the heck? Why did my phone disconnect to my computer again? What was that? Can you guys still hear me? Hello, hello. Hope you can still hear me. Okay, so that was a pretty bullish reaction there. All right. Okay, good. Sorry, my phone just like did something weird. Piscean God, I like that. Yes, guys, FX replay backtesting will be tomorrow after the live stream in the Discord. So I'm gonna go on YouTube though, because I don't know how many people in the Discord are actually gonna sit and watch an FX replay, but I will do it live on Discord. Okay, beautiful move there. Again, I think this high, these two highs are coming, this high, and then ideally somewhere in this area right here, I think is next. So we'll probably do the FX replay, and you guys can comment to me what time you guys want to do the FX replay, but I was thinking around maybe 11:30 in the morning, my time, which is Pacific time, 11:30 Pacific. To put in perspective, it's 8 o'clock right now. So like 3 hours from now. K's ready. All right. I have to figure out how to work FX replay. In fact, I'll probably do it today, like set up the charts, because I haven't used FX replay in a while, and they have a new version of it. Can you look at the 9th of January and tell me why the charts skip NYSE? What do you mean? What does that mean? Excuse me. Like January 9th of this year? On what chart, Evan? I'm not understanding what you're saying. Okay, so there is the target that I just aimed for. Okay, so there's that high. It's probably going to go to this high too now. 5 minute never closed above just yet, but I mean, this is one of those situations where it just goes without you. Rachel, big W pattern. But do you understand the logic behind why I thought this was going to happen? You guys understand what I said? How all of these highs need to, if we're bearish today, if we're going to continue bearish, these highs need to be swept before going lower. The market runs on liquidity, okay? I know a lot of people believe it's buying and selling pressure, but what is actually happening is there are algorithms in the markets that generate liquidity because the markets can only move when liquidity is hit, right? For the market to move lower, they need to be able to short positions from people who are buying back shares. All right, so if big money is short, okay, the algorithms move the markets higher so that big money can enter where a lot of people are short. So people that are short are forced to buy back their shares here, here, and here. And if they're buying back their shares, somebody is selling them shares. The sellers are short the market, right? So big money is selling shares to people that are buying. That's the theory behind it. So, yeah. I mean, that's two things that I called out on the day that worked. Again, this one I entered late because I was very, very confident on this draw, this low being the daily fair value gap high. And then there was less confidence in these on when these were going to happen, but nonetheless they did. And again, I'm officially done. No more trading for me. Yeah, guys, so I think, yeah, so I'll do the FX replay session on YouTube tomorrow around 11:30. So give or take 3.5 hours from now. We'll do 11. How about that? We'll do 11. So exactly 3 hours from now. Tomorrow. We have more LRLR here, but if we are really bearish today, we don't have to go to these highs, but I still think we'll probably hit this one at minimum. No, not today, Kay. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. Thursday. So I'll be honest here. Right now, I don't know what's gonna happen. Okay, I mean, you never know for sure what's gonna happen, obviously. But once this internal high is swept, I don't know how bearish we are right now because we've already filled the daily fair value gap, or we've already entered into it. Right? You can see that the daily fair value gap was from this candle's low to this candle's high. So we're in this right now. So I don't know if they're gonna drive the market higher here and target the equal highs today, or if they're going to keep going lower, fill the volume imbalance, maybe even take these equal lows out. I have no idea. So at this point, this is not a high probability spot to be anywhere in the markets, in my view. I mean, statistically, it's probably better to be long here than to be short because we've already had a huge dump in the morning session. And we do have obvious liquidity resting above us. But they could do anything they want here. They could drive it lower, sweep this low first, or come very close to this low, like they'll fill this 1 minute fair value gap, then go higher. They could go and sweep low of day and then go higher. It's very difficult to time what's going to happen here. So I would not want to be a part of this anymore. Again, there's already been a, how many point move was this, did I say? Over 200 points from the high, the internal high that formed in the morning session. So this is more likely consolidation than anything, but like I said to you guys, objectively, everyone that's short had their stop above this high. They have a stop above this high and this high. So statistically, it's more likely these are going to come next, but they could do anything they want. So there is a tiny 1 minute fair value gap here, but is this A+? Absolutely not. Even though it could work to continue higher, which I think it probably will, it's just not worth it in my view. But if I had to say gun to my head, if I had to take something here, I would have a stop at low of day and I would hold to this high and then this high. But again, I've taken my trades today. No need to take anything else. Sorry, I've taken my trade. I haven't taken trades. I took one short to this daily low, and that was it. And ideally, if I was on the screens here, I would have entered. But I didn't, and you can see here, this is where I entered on this pullback. I think I got in somewhere on this candle's a wick. I'll have to look back at my executions. And again, that was, I'm not going to lie to you guys, this was an eval account trade. And I wasn't going to trade with a funded account at all or cash today because of the fact there's no news. So. Thanks, Mitra. Appreciate it, bro. Where does that name Maitra come from? I don't know if I asked you that last time. Also, I will note, we did get a 5-minute close above on the inverse. So this is technically an entry for a long, by the way. Stop to break even at this high. Tomfoolery. So this technically is a long, guys. I'm just letting you know. Is there an SMT with ES? No. They both made higher lows. So you guys see how this 5-minute fair value gap closed above here? There's not really anything else holding down price, so this should deliver higher here. How much do you risk per trade? Dollar-wise is not really important. Alright, I'm not going to answer these questions, Mitra. But to those of you guys who actually care about that question's answer, normally I don't risk more than 1% of my account per trade. Maximum 2. So the 2-minute closed above, the 3-minute closed above, the 5-minute closed above. If I look at the 10 minute still is not closed above, but it's probably going to. 15-minute has closed above. So this is actually a pretty decent reversal sign in my view. 1% of my account is like 30 cents. Yeah, I mean, if your account is, if 1% is 30 cents, then you can size up, obviously. But my account size is not 30 cents, so... Okay, so I think this high is coming now, and I think this is coming easily, based on this 5-minute. 10-minute has not closed yet. This closes at 8:10. So, but the 15-minute and the 5 have both closed above. To me, this signifies that this is going to go up here, for sure. Again, I mean, if you guys want to enter this, you can. But yeah, I think this high is coming. And probably this high as well. We're in a macro time too. We've inversed the 5 and the 15 to the upside. So everyone that's short has their stop above this high. And it makes sense that they drive the market up to it to stop them out. Did they sweep that high? Not yet. Exactly, Evan. Oh, on 50K fundeds. On fundeds, I think that's stupid for sure. On an eval account, I mean, if you are very confident and you're willing to risk, you know, paying a few $100 to eventually pass one, then risking 500 is okay. But on a funded, absolutely not. I wouldn't risk more than like. So your total drawdown on a 2K on like my fund on Top Step, you can max lose $2,000. So if you risk 1% on 2,000, that's $200 max. Bro, what is going on? Okay, let's see if this internal high hits. 1% of 2,000 is 20. Yeah, it is actually, you're right. But like I'm talking about a cash account. I would only risk 1%. Yeah, that was a pretty dumb math mistake. I normally don't risk more than like on a funded account, I don't risk more than $200 per trade on a 50K. Also, I don't know if Top Step does this, but with Apex, once you pass the trailing drawdown, the $2,600, then they cut the trailing drawdown. As long as you maintain, I think, above 50,000. I think if you maintain above 52,600 on an Apex, then the trailing drawdown is cut. So as long as you can maintain that level, then you're good. I would say, I mean, I mean, $500 is a huge risk for a max loss of 2,000, right? So maybe like I would say 200 to $150 max would be a good risk. Nature, would you recommend Apex or Top Step? Um, that's a tough one. I think it really depends on your trading style. If you risk a lot, if you're comfortable with higher risk trades, then I would probably say Apex because you have more. You can risk. I think you can risk 2,500 to make 3,000 on that account, and they're cheaper evals. But Top Step has a lot more tools that you can use. They all have unrealized trailing drawdown. Like even Top Step, if you like, let's say the account's at 51,000, and you end up bringing it to like 51,500, but you don't take profits. I believe your trailing drawdown goes up $500 as well. So like your max loss goes up $500, I believe. Top Step they calculate at the end of the day. I'm not sure, Mitra. I haven't paid attention to that. I think it's unrealized too. But if it's end of the day, then that's actually better. But they do give you so Top Step is a $2,000 risk. for the day. It's not 2,500 bucks like Apex, but it really depends. They're both great accounts to use. I just think Top Step has better tools. They are more expensive, but especially if you're like a trader that tends to go on tilt, there are some really nice features. Like, I mean, if you use Apex and you sign up through Tradevate, not Rhythmic, you can actually have a personal daily loss limit. But it's a little tougher because like you can just log into your Tradevate and then change the max loss, right? Like if you go on tilt, you can go in and log into your account and then change the settings. So with Top Step, what's nice is that you can actually lock the risk settings. So if you make a promise to yourself at the beginning of the day that this is the amount I'm going to lose and this is the amount of trades I'm going to take, you can actually set a daily loss limit and trade limits. And then you can lock the account before you start trading. And no matter what you do, even if you have the password for the account, you can't change it. So I think if you struggle with tilt trading and holding yourself accountable to your rules, then I think that Top Step is the better one. If you use the 1 hour candle, so I'm on NQM, so I'd have to go to NQH. What contract are you looking at? NQ1? January 9th. You said January 9th, right? What am I seeing? What am I looking at here? I don't see anything wrong with this. Why does it skip the New York session? I think this was a bank holiday. That's my only guess. If we go to January 9th, it's probably an early day. Let's see what Grok says. Oh, it was the morning. It was Jimmy Carter's death day, so they closed the markets. That was why. I remember that. What it was that? Did you try and do something on FX replay and then it didn't show or something? Yeah, so that was why. Yeah, that was a very unique thing that shouldn't have happened. If you guys are ever unsure, go on Forex Factory and see if there's a bank holiday, and if there isn't, use Grok or use ChatGPT or something to figure it out. Okay, so this looks like it's going to pump here. Okay, guys, I'm gonna stream for another 15 minutes, give or take, because I mean, again, guys, the moves have been made today. No reason to take any other trades, in my opinion. Again, guys, if I could say one thing to you guys, look at your daily time frame. The first thing you should do when you wake up in the morning, look at your daily chart and see what has occurred. The second I saw this, really, Evan? Grok is better. I've used ChatGPT and Grok, and over the last like month and a half, 2 months, Grok 3 is gotten significantly better. Like it's amazing. And I pay what, like 80 or 90 bucks a year for X Premium. And I think you get, as a free X member, you get like 15 questions a day or something. You don't get all the features, like all the image generation and image editing and blah, 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 but it's still great. But yeah, as soon as I saw this daily high get swept, immediately I was looking for a rebalance of this. And you can see here in the Asia-London session, there actually was a pretty good looking short from the Asia session here. So if we like go back, market replay, we swept the daily high at market close yesterday. And then, I mean, this was pretty good too, this short. But you would have had to move your stop to break even, for example. Well, actually there was no close. This was not a good short because there was no close. But then here, right, we swept this high. Did ES make an SMT here? Let me see. No, there's no SMT. They both made higher highs. This was pretty good though, in my view. Stop to break even when this low hit. And you could have targeted some of these, but that ended up actually delivering us much lower. But if you didn't take that entry, which you would have gotten probably stopped out on the remainder of your trade. This was the SMT in the morning that I was looking at. So again, ES made a higher high, NQ made a lower high, and then there was a 1 minute fair value gap short. And the target was that daily low. But you guys can see now we've delivered 200 plus points, so it's no surprise that the market is kind of going slow here, even though, again, I think this is going to sweep. How they get there, they could bring it down again before going up. So SMT is, I don't know what it stands for. I mean, I think it stands for smart money trading, but it basically just means that one index makes, there's a what's the word I'm looking for? Divergence between the two indices. So one will make a higher high and one will make a lower high. Do you see that? That's what an SMT is. And that typically is a sign of reversal, especially if you have a high time frame draw. So that was what I was looking for. Either an SMT or a liquidity sweep. If one of two of those things happens, then it's a good spot to look for reversal. So I've got about 10 minutes left on stream, guys. I've got a lot of stuff to do today. But I would just study. No, I don't trade crypto, Mitra. I hold Bitcoin and that's it. So again, pay attention to this high. The 5 minute is obviously still holding. I think it's going to be a decent reversal spot on the day, but I think this high is coming and then this high, most likely. Mitra, I'm going to ask you, do you trade crypto? But don't give me a smart answer. What's your favorite shitcoin? Yes, Maisha, it is. You are correct. I'm literally on the monthly chart right now looking at that. JUP USDT, what the hell is that? So you guys can see the mean threshold of the monthly fair value gap is holding here. The bodies are holding. So if we get a monthly close like this, I think this is going to be very bullish for Bitcoin. Another chart that's actually in its monthly gap, funny enough, is Tesla. A lot of people freaking out that this is the end of the world for Tesla, but if we can hold this wick on the monthly, so by April 1st, if this body holds above this fair value gap, I think it's going to be very bullish for Tesla, but we'll see. Okay, so we're pushing up here. And I don't know if you guys, I mean, I've said this many times, but if you look, I think it was on the daily. Was it on the weekly maybe? So this was a great spot to add Tesla right here. Liquidity sweep plus a weekly fair value gap. I added a sizable position on Tesla here. And there was a fake inverse to the downside here, but we never closed below this. If you notice on the weekly chart, the body held the weekly fair value gap, and then we gapped down. I think this was because of earnings, and then we had a massive pump. But I still think this is going to be bullish for Tesla in the long term, but we'll see. Okay, so let's see if this high gets swept now. So we did hit the body of this candle, and we rejected, which is not ideal. But what we could do, there's FOMC speakers today, so what they could do here is like manipulate it down, freak people out, and then bring it up later. I'm not sure, but... Again, guys, the trading for today I think is done. Anybody else have any questions or any trades that you took today that you messed up on and you want explanations or something? Any charts you want me to look at? Because pretty much done here. We got 5 minutes left. Do you like Forex pairs? The only thing I do with Forex, Maitra, I do swing trade Forex pairs. So like right now I'm in a short on the Great British Pound New Zealand dollar. I'll actually show you guys why. Let me pull it up here. So we're in a monthly, we've traded bullishly on GBP NZD. And we have a monthly, basically bearish fair value gap here. So I entered short at the top of this. This is a swing trade that I'm going to hold because I think that we're going to retrace down to, at minimum, the 50% of this whole leg of price. So I'm ultimately looking for a target of $1.94. This is a swing trade. But that's the only thing I do. I don't call that in my community, though. But I will if you guys are interested in Forex pairs. In my backtesting, I had a trade where I lost the trade by 0.75 of a point on MNQ, but won the trade on NQ. Yeah, so in Top Step? No, okay. Not in Top Step. I trade that in my cash accounts. I don't think you can trade Forex pairs on a funded. Maybe you can. I don't know. I don't do it though. Also, you can't swing trade in prop firms. But this is something that I'm going to be holding for probably months. And my ultimate target is going to be the low here and then somewhere in this general range of what retail calls support. Okay, so woo. Did the 10-minute close above? 10-minute closed above as well. Very interesting that they're rejecting it here. Ten-minute closed above, 15-minute closed above, 5-minute closed above. Yeah, this is pure manipulation. I do not want to be part of this. This should have delivered cleanly to this high. So yeah, guys, I think that's it. Congrats if you took this short with me, and I did not take this, but there was a decent scalp to this internal high on the 1 minute. And yeah, so what they could do here, guys, is like bring it very close to this low, like maybe come right here, and then go up. But yeah, so if I see anything, I'll call it in the Discord. Edgardo Trejo, what's up, brother? Right now, guys, we are running a free 3-day trial. I'm doing it until I get 2,000 subs. Also, the price of the Discord is going to go up by, I think we'll do $5 to when I get to 2,000 subs, and then $10 when I get to 2,500. But yeah, again, you guys do not need communities. It's just a place to be a part of something. But if I see anything, I know you guys, most of you know this, but there's a live alert section, so I'll call anything if I see it here. But again, I'm personally done for the day. And yeah, so I wish you guys the best, and I will see you in the Discord tomorrow. No more live streams this week. Thursday, Friday, the best days in the week, in my opinion, are going to be in the Discord. But I will do a back testing session on YouTube tomorrow at 11 o'clock Pacific time. So I will see you guys there. Have a great rest of your day, and yeah, see you guys in the Discord. Peace.